up, Germany? I'm excited to be on here. I don't know if everyone's from Germany on here. Is everyone on here from Germany?
Germany, Switzerland, and Austria.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, it's a blessing to be on this call. I'm so excited to do this call. I appreciate y'all having me on here. Let's go ahead and get it popping. But, you know, Marvin, really fast, man. Thank you again for letting me on here. I was looking through your Instagram, man. Your shit is popping. You're popping on there. So, thanks, bro. I appreciate you. And I love your energy, by the way. You're so lit. Okay. Hold on. Let me get my stuff ready. Boom. Okay, perfect. Perfect. All right, I'm ready to rock it. Yo, what's up, everybody? So, y'all, if you don't know who I am, my name is Cash Cartier. I've been in IM now for about almost 5 years, going on 5 years now. I don't have like the best, most sexy success story, but you know, it took me, I would say about 3.5 years to get to chairman, and probably even longer than that, maybe 4 years to get to chairman. And after I hit chairman, I started just booming really fast, and everything really started making sense for me. And you know, it really just goes to show you that once you just keep going at something, eventually it's gonna manifest and it's gonna start popping off for you, right? So that's just a little bit about myself, you guys. I want to give you guys some really big value. I might end up on getting on the whiteboard today. Most likely, knowing me, I will. But let's go ahead and get it rocking. So the first thing I really want to talk about for everybody that's on this call is running this like a business, right? Is running this like a business. Because the biggest thing is most people do not run this like a business and they don't operate it like a job. So what you want to do is you want to run this like a business and you want to operate it like a job. And what do I mean by that? When I say operate it like a job, I mean just that. That means you are self-employed and you're working for yourself, right? So the first thing you want to do is you want to act like you just spent $1 million. You want to act like you spent $1 million, $2 million, $5 million. If you spent $5 million on this business, I guarantee you wouldn't need to go on a woman's night out. I guarantee you wouldn't need to. I guarantee you wouldn't need to go on a guy's night out. I guarantee you wouldn't want to go to the bar. I guarantee you, right? You wouldn't need to have all this quality time with your boyfriend or girlfriend or anything else at the time when you just spent that $5 million or invested that $5 million. The problem is we've only spent $235, right, or $325. The problem is we've only spent that, so we act like it, but we don't act as if, right? We don't act as if we can make what those big businesses are making. If you look at the income we're making at Chairman, we're making a lot more money than a lot of these businesses that you see out there that paid millions of dollars. The only difference is we pay $325. The problem is the people that are paying $325 are not thinking correctly. They're not operating it like a business. It actually sucks that it's so cheap to come into network marketing and build your business, right? So build your business and operate it like a job. So when I say operate it like a job, I mean you should set your schedule to work for yourself. You are your own boss, right? You are your own boss. And I want you to understand this really fast. There's self-employed and then there's a business owner. Those are two different things. Being self-employed means you work for yourself. Being a business owner means people are working for you. Right? Self-employed means you're working for yourself, and being a business owner means people are working for you. So what's my point? Right now in the beginning, you are going to be self-employed, meaning you're going to be working for yourself. Right? You're going to be working for yourself because you're the one that has to get this business off the ground. You're the one that's got to acquire the customers. If you were a barber, if you're a hairdresser, if you do makeup for a living, right? You know that you got to go acquire that customer clientele, that base for you to start getting money, even if you're self-employed. And then you've got to show up to be there for them. So my thing is you're self-employed. Now, right, what happens is once you start getting that business off the ground, you start getting something that's called cash flow, right? Cash flow. And what you're able to do with cash flow is you take a portion of that money and you reinvest it back in the business to create more money, essentially. Then you can scale your business, right? And I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But you want to operate it like a job in the beginning because you're self-employed, meaning you don't work for anyone, but you work for yourself, so you're employed by yourself and you've got to put in that work. You're going to have to bust your ass in the beginning, okay? You're going to have to bust your ass in the beginning. It just is what it is. Act like you paid a million, 5 million, and you'll start thinking a lot differently, right? You're not going to be like, oh, I'm sick today. You're going to be like, I don't get sick. You're going to be like, I feel really good. 110 fever, you're like, I feel very good right now, right? You ain't going to get sick if you just spent 5 million. You're going to make it happen. Now what happens is now once you start getting, I love you, dang, y'all, some of y'all really be watching my stuff. I could just see what you're dropping in the chat box. That's lit. I love you guys, for real, thank you. I see like ATMs, today's my day. That's lit, man. I love y'all, thank you. Man, yo, Germany is lit. They're lit. Germany is lit. Man, we got some of the ATMs in here right now. Man, you guys are so lit. I'm sorry, y'all just tripping me out. The culture out there is insane. Oh, man. So now what I want you to think is once you get that cash flow, you're now going to get another, you're gonna be able to get your business off the ground. Now you can go from self-employed, right, to a business owner. You can get other people working for yourself. That's the same thing that you're doing here in I Am Master Academy, right? In the beginning, you're self-employed, and then after a while, you're gonna become a business owner. But don't act like you're a business owner when you need to be working like you're self-employed, because those are two different things. And just so you're aware, even till this day, I'm still acting as if I'm more self-employed, even as a Chairman 50 with 4,000 plus people inside my organization, right? I'm still acting as if I'm self-employed. But that is why we've been able to go from 1,000 to 4,000 in the matter of about 90 days or so, right? Because we've been acting like we're self-employed. The more you're acting like you're self-employed but thinking like you're a business owner, the more momentum you're going to be able to create, right? So the other thing I have for you, and again, I'm going to go into some really in-depth stuff in a minute. I want your mind to be right now, okay? So that the first thing is operating it like a business. The next thing is set your dreams in stone. Lock them in stone. Your dreams never move. Now think about this. Your dream is a long-term vision, right? Your dream is what you believe you were put on this earth to do. You believe that you were put on this earth to do that dream, right? So what we know is in order to achieve our dream, we've got to be, how much success can we have in every individual day? If we can wake up and be successful in every individual day, that's going to lead to the long-term success. So if you take massive action now, you're going to get to the long-term success faster. But get this, right? The long-term success is going to be your big dream. So get this. That means you must set your dream in stone on every individual day to get the long-term dream. So what do I mean by that? That means that you do not ever make your dream flexible throughout the day. That means once you have a call, you do your call. And then you can go out and do life after, right? You never ever right, move your dreams around for life. You set your dreams in stone, it never moves, and you work your life around your dream. You don't work your dream around your life. You don't go on a date, right? If you have to do something for your dream today. You don't get tired if you got something to do for your dream today, right? You don't go out, you don't miss a training, you don't miss a call, because that's for your dream. That's set in stone. You've got to become disciplined to your dream. You got to become disciplined to your dream. Okay? So become disciplined to your dream, because all discipline is giving yourself the ability to give yourself a command and you do it. The thing is most people are not disciplined. They cannot give themselves a command and then they do it. Are you able to follow through? The thing is this, we have a why. We want to get our mom or dad out of their jobs. We want to buy our mom a house. We want to put our wife or husband in a nicer house, or make it to where they don't have to work, right? We want to give our children, right, the lives that they deserve, right? But the thing is how dare you How dare you not do the small things you need to be doing or not be doing to achieve your dreams? How are you going to choose, I want to go out and party, instead of I want to stay in and build my dream so I can provide for my family? How dare you do that? Now, the other thing is all of you have something, including myself, by the way, all of us have something that we need to give up, that we have not given up, that is holding us back, right? It's holding us back. Everybody has something, a bad habit, a bad thing. And the more you get rid of those things, right, you will grow. Because a lot of growth is letting go of a lot of the bullshit that we're not letting go of. The problem with unsuccessful people is they want to hold on to things when they shouldn't, and that is why people are not growing as fast as they want to go. It's like somebody is literally holding resistance bands behind you, and you're trying to run. And you're trying to run with the, why don't you just chop them off? Why don't you just chop them off? You would rather be broke than grind. You'd rather be broke than cut things off. You'd rather be broke than get your family the dreams that you've been thinking about for them. You'd rather be broke. Some of you are doing that right now. You've got to give up to go up, to grow. To grow up. To grow up. Are you growing? It's not only about the things that you need to do. A majority of it, you'll realize, is it's actually the things that you shouldn't be doing. That's going to take you to success. You shouldn't be going out. You shouldn't be doing drugs. You shouldn't be lurking on your ex's Instagram or Facebook or all that other shit. You should be throwing all that shit out of your life. Why is it needed? It's needed because you're weak. That's why. So what you got to do is chop it off if you truly want to grow, and start thinking about your why instead of talking about it. The next thing I have is then, after you cut everything off, then you should sprint. Right? Then you take massive action. It's not just go take massive action and run in there like an idiot. It's first you got to chop off and get rid of all the bad energy. Get rid of all the bad people. Throw all the bad energy out, right? Block all of it. Get rid of everything so you can sprint faster. Now you don't have distractions, and now your discipline is going to get even stronger. The problem is when we are not disciplined and we do not cut those things off, we're wanting to sprint, but we look to the side at the distraction and we take our mind off the prize over and over, and our energy is getting split. Okay? So start cutting things off, and then you take massive action. By the way, I don't mean wait. I don't mean cut everything off, wait for a little while, make sure you're good, then take massive action. Successful people make decisions quickly, and they change them seldomly, if at all, if ever. Which means make the decision right now to chop everything off and then go all in, and don't talk about it, or you're just going to be where you're at for a very, very, very long time. And then, before I start getting into the real network marketing side of things, okay, because it's all about the mindset, really. Because if I just teach you the massive action steps, then you're not ever going to get anywhere, because most people aren't doing anything that on the first half of what I just said. Most people are just taking the massive action on the how-tos, right? So it's the mindset is what matters, right? It's not necessarily what you do, it's how you do it, right? And how you do anything is how you do everything. So start doing everything properly, and you'll start getting the proper results. So the last thing I have on this thing is going all in. Because just because you're in I Am Master Academy, just because you're signed up for I Am Master Academy, that does not mean that you're all in. That just means you signed up. That doesn't mean you have the 1% mentality like everyone else outside. That's not what that means. That just means you signed up. Anybody can take the card and swipe it. But did you go all in on I Am Master Academy? Because a lot of us think that when we come in here, we're better than everyone else out there. You're not better than anyone. You still got to grow to the person that you want to become. So don't think that you change just because you swiped your card. This isn't the lottery on your mind, right? You don't just come in here and all of a sudden you get a new mindset. You still got to grow that mindset every single day. So have you went all in? A lot of us are still BSing. A lot of us are still making excuses. A lot of us aren't hopping on the calls. A lot of us don't take notes. A lot of us, right, are looking for an excuse not to do something instead of looking for the excuse to go do the things we need to do to become successful. Going all in means, right, going all in means the exact same thing that I said. It means chopping off everything that you need to chop off. The reason why a lot of you are where you could have been here for years like me, and you're wondering why you're running on a treadmill and not going anywhere, is because you never went all in. Not ever. So what you've got to do is go all in and stop talking about it, or you will always be where you're at. Going all in means chopping off. This is my life. This is my life. Do you guys understand that? Marvin, this is your life, right? Yep. That's why he's at where he's at. But the thing is what I can tell you, it was not an easy journey for him. It's just common sense. Like we all look at this BS behind me, but no one looks at the pain inside me though, right? No one looks at the things that we had to go through to get here. No one looks at the sacrifices. No one looks at the bad things. No one looks at all the pain that I was on Instagram Live the other day and someone said, I wish I had your life. And I'm like, man, I bet your family's still alive because my family's not here. So be careful what you're saying because I had to go through a lot. Don't wish it was easy. Wish you were better, right? Wish you were better. So you should want to go through this journey. You're going to have to go through this journey. Go all in. If you have any connection to the outside world with any other BS going on out there, you're never going to make it. If you're over here, I see people that are like, yeah, I'm gonna do IM, and this is my main focus. They didn't say only focus though. So you never went all in. You never went all in. I'm gonna do some of the things I need to do, but not all of the things I gotta do. So you never went all in. I'm going to cut some people off, but not everyone off. So you never went all in, right? I'm going to do some of these things, but not all of these things. What is all in? What does that mean? So if you really grasp what I mean on the all in word, watch your life change very quickly. Watch it change very quickly, okay? Now, let's get into some fun shit, right? Let's get into building. Okay, let's get into building. Now, what I've really realized, right, is building an empire is actually a lot more simple than you think. It's maintaining it is actually a lot more difficult. Okay? Because a lot of people grow their squad. Think about how many of us, including me for sure, right? I'm sure Marvin too. Think about how many of us have had that big explosion and then, man, we're like, yeah, I'm on top of the world, just built this empire, and then all of a sudden it goes away. Sorry, it sucks, but it's funny. Man, that sucks. But how many of us have done that? Probably a lot. So maintaining it is actually more difficult. It's actually more difficult. So this is what you got to do. Is I want you to think about being a general, right, on a battlefield. You don't just run out there and attack. You don't just run out there and attack. You have a game plan. And most people, what I realize, is they don't have a game plan. Okay? So what you got to do is create a game plan and then reverse engineer, right? You reverse engineer the game plan. You reverse engineer, you look at the big dream and then you reverse engineer it, and that's going to give you the game plan. You look at chairman and then you reverse engineer all the things that you need to come up with that game plan that you got to go through now to get there. So what I do is I'm always constantly breaking things down, building them up. I'm just looking at every angle of what I have to do. Okay? Now, the other thing is you've got to stop thinking like you and start thinking like other people. Start thinking about how other people think, and you're reverse engineering. It's not about what you think, it's about what the other person is thinking, so you can reverse engineer it to get the outcome that you desire. Okay? So let's look at this. I like to study history, especially war. I don't know why, but that's just my thing, and it's helped me a lot with building, right? So I want you to write this down. This is called something that I'm naming the perfect storm, right? The perfect storm. Now, my thing is, and I'm not just saying that because of this call, by the way, all right? I do a lot of research, right, on history. And one thing that I know is that the Germans in World War II, I believe, were using a famous attack called BLITZKRIEG, right? And BLITZKRIEG was how they were winning their battles almost every single time. And so what I did was I decided to let me look at my organization and attack it like BLITZKRIEG. Because what they did was they reverse engineered the way the enemy was thinking, and they came up with a game plan. So what they would do is they would send the bombs first. Boom, 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 boom. Then they would send in tanks. Boom, 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 boom. And then they would blitz them, right, with the foot soldiers and have them run in there. Boom, 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 boom. But what was the first thing I just said? The first thing I just said was the bomb. The bomb, the big explosion first. Then they send the tanks, right? So still a lot of energy first, a lot of boom. Then you go in with the foot soldiers. So what's my point? On the perfect storm, write this down. Launch, right? Launch, scale, sustain, retain. And then you just got to do one more thing, is you got to add culture. Add culture. Okay? That's the last thing, and honestly, the most important. But you guys, I can see y'all have a culture. That's very clear. Okay? Y'all have a very good culture. So keep doing whatever it is that you're doing, because it's amazing. Just follow your leaders. They're going to get you there. Now, on the launch, look, think about this. My point with the Blitzkrieg was the big explosion. So what you've got to be thinking is this. How can I get a momentum in all of the things that I just listed in the perfect storm? How can I reverse engineer the launch and get momentum in that launch? Now let's get on this thing, all right? So, let's rock it like this. You can move the chair if you need to. This is...
There you go.
Let's go. Hopefully. Can you guys see the whiteboard okay? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, it's perfect. Okay. I gotta make sure I can see myself. There we go. Okay. So, let's look at it. Is it too dark? Oh, is that off? Or is that killing that? Okay, you guys can see it? Perfect. It's okay? Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna write this down again. Alright, so you got the launch. Right? You got the launch. Then you got scaling. Okay? You got scaling. Then you got sustain. Right? Retain. Right? And then you got add culture. All right? Now, look at it like this. If this is you, all right? If that's you, so when you launch, what you're going to do is you're going to get a big bang in the beginning, right? You get this big bang in the beginning. That's going to give you your momentum. Then what you do is you scale, right? Scaling means essentially you're duplicating. Scaling means, if you guys don't know what scaling means, scaling your business, it means if you had one coffee shop, right? What you would do is if you want to open up another one in another location. So hypothetically, you open up a coffee shop in Germany, and then you want to put one in Switzerland, or you want to put one in America. Now you're scaling. So scaling is duplicating, right, the system that you've created. Scaling is creating the system, duplicating the system that you created. That's what's going to drive momentum down. Okay? Now, sustaining is having something that's able to sustain. It's sustaining that growth, meaning maintaining that growth. Okay? Momentum is going to come from the first two. All right? But now the next one is going to be sustaining, and that's just making sure it goes on autopilot, essentially. So do you have a bulletproof system that is on autopilot? And then what will happen is you'll start getting, right, you'll start kind of getting a little bit more of a slower growth from the sustaining, but it's still adding to your organization. And then all you want to do is just retain it. Now, all I got to do, these are going to be your main stages in business, within this business. All we got to be thinking is, right, it's not what works, it's what duplicates. It's not about what we think. Stop thinking about what you think and start thinking about what other people are thinking, and then you reverse engineer that, right, in the launch process. Reverse engineer. So now what I want to do is I want to be thinking this. How do I get momentum from the launch? How do I get momentum? All right? How do I get momentum from the scale? How do I get momentum? Right? In sustaining. And even momentum when you're retaining. Momentum. How do I get momentum in the culture? How do I get a culture of smashing ranks? All of them is momentum. So think about it. All I'm doing is I'm looking at the things that we do in business, and I reverse engineer to come up with these words. Then I reverse engineer more, and I want to get momentum. So how do I get there? In the launch process, okay, everything is going to be energy. Momentum is energy, right? Write this down. All momentum is energy. It's a high level of energy. So reverse engineer the word momentum. Okay? Well, momentum is what? It's going to be excited people. People that are excited. Okay? Excited people creates momentum. Okay? So now you think, what's excitement? Okay? So it's high level of energy. High level energy. Okay? So you're reverse engineering. Now you have high level. So now if you now know what the word momentum means, right? Which is a high level of energy, well then what do? You reverse engineer it. You reverse engineer, right? Engineer, I can't even spell, but whatever. You reverse engineer, right? How can I get people excited? How can you get people excited? Is the question. Because that's what's going to keep momentum. And that's what's going to get it sustaining. So the first thing you do is you make sure you are high level of energy. All right? Did you see how when we got on this call with the way Marvin's like announced me, and all that energy he's having, the reason why he's a chairman, okay, is because his energy, it only makes sense for him to be a chairman. But what you got to do is put that excitement into the launch. You've got to launch with a high level of energy when you're launching someone. So when you're in the launching process, are you really good energy? And then what you want to do is, because they're going to feed off of yours, and then what you want to do is get them to be excited as well with you. So what I realized was this: if you could put maybe 2 to 3 people on a launch process, they're going to be even more excited because there's 3 people that are really dope on there with them, and they're all vibing it out. It creates excitement. Now what we want to do is we want to assume that they want to build. We don't ask them if they want to build or trade. We don't ask them if they want to build or be a customer. We assume that they want to do both. We never ask them. It's really key that you know that, okay? Then what we do is, unless you guys have something different set, I always recommend P150 in 7 days. P150 in 7 days. Because you've got to reverse engineer what is momentum even more now. So it's excitement. It's also, momentum is also, in our business, is a pace. It's a fast moving, it's a fast pace, right? A fast pace. So, are you setting the pace for the individual that's coming in? Are you setting the pace for them? Think about it like this. If you're an athlete, or if you go to the gym and you hire a trainer, the trainer is going to set the pace for you. The trainer is going to tell you how much to lift. The trainer is going to tell you how long you're going to do it for. That's what you hired them for. These people signed up to be trained by you, to be mentored by you. Are you not setting the pace for them? So now what they're doing is they're sitting here thinking really nothing. Maybe I'll get to P150 in a month. Maybe I'll get to it in 3 months. They're just going to get to it when they can get to it. If you set them a goal, all right, set the pace, right, they will move a lot faster. Write this down really fast. Leaders, set the pace. Leaders, set the pace. So P150, put it into the launch process. Now, what you got to do, and I don't want to stay too long on everything because I want to get through everything, but the other thing in the launch process is got to be put phase 1, right? Phase 1 in the launch process. Reverse engineer what phase 1 is. What are things you can do right, in phase 1, and you add it into the launch process? Can you get them to call 3 people right now? The best thing to do, the best question I've learned to ever ask in my whole career is, who can you put me in front of right now? That is the most powerful phrase that I've ever learned when it's coming to the launch process. Who can you put me in front of right now? Why? Because the newest person is what? They are excited, which means they already have mental momentum, right? They're like, okay, I'm ready to go right now. Why would you wait to get them to do something? You want to do it right now. Think about this. The perfect invite, what do? You act like you're in a hurry, right? You act excited, you have high energy, you talk really fast, and then you get an answer and you hang up, right? Okay, cool. So think about that. Think about this. Excited person. They're naturally high energy. They're naturally speaking really fast. They're naturally doing the right things already. So why would we not take advantage of their mental momentum when they're excited and then use that to our benefit? So what we've got to do is we've got to start asking, right, who can you put me in front of right now, and start utilizing the launch, because this is going to be like Blitzkrieg. This is going to be, right, this is going to be the planes dropping the bombs. You don't just go into the scale. You're skipping a step if you do that. You don't just go into the scale. You don't just go into sustaining. You've got to keep launching. Momentum is in the launch. Write that down. Momentum is in the launch. You've got to make sure you add the momentum in the launch. You've got to make sure it's in there. You've got to make sure phase 1's in there. Okay? Set up a home event as well. Set up a home event. I'm not sure what you guys can do out there the COVID or whatever, set up a one-on-one Starbucks meeting. Have them start setting up meetings or whatever. Put phase 1 in the launch process. I cannot stress that enough. Okay? Scaling. Right? Scaling is just going to be, that's essentially, right, duplication. Duplicating. Right? So now what we got to be thinking is, do we have a simplistic way for the average person to do what I'm doing? That's what you got to be thinking. Do we have a way for the average person to win? They don't have to be as good as you, but can they get how high can you get that percentage? You might be at 100%, right? You might be at 100%. They might only be able to mimic, right, 10%. Now, if you know business owners, this is the way they think. I would rather, right, have 1% of what others do rather than have to do 100% myself. So think about that. If they're even doing 1% of what you're doing technically, you can win. But what we want to do is higher that percentage. How can I get them as close to me as possible? So do you have a phase 1? Do you have a phase 1, a go-to thing that's duplicatable for them to get there faster? Do you have something that's duplicatable on Instagram for them to grow their Instagram faster? Do you have something on their Instagram for them to get some type of recruiting on Instagram? Do you have a duplicatable system and franchise, right, in every single country, every single city, right? Think about this for a second. So if you're going to open up a Starbucks or if you're going to open up a McDonald's or whatever, all you're doing is you're keeping that exact same system and you're just opening up another building, but nothing changes. So when you open up a new market in another spot of the world, you teach them, right? If you have a system of Tuesdays and Thursdays as a home event, hypothetically, you never change the Tuesdays and Thursdays anywhere on your team. So my point is, anything that you're doing at home, you always add, right, into a new area or a new market. Okay? So start thinking, how can I get my squad into phase 1, and how can I make phase 1 as simplistic as possible so I can get, right, about 10% out of the average person? That's going to give you momentum. Sustaining, right, is going to be, it's more going to be like this. This is going to be a lot of culture here. Because here's my thing. Do we have anyone that's like been in the army or like any type of the military on here for anything? Drop a 1 if there's anyone on here. Is there any soldiers that's on here at all? Drop a 1 if there's any soldiers on here that's ever been a soldier. Drop a 1 if you know a soldier. Anyone at all? 1s. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So here's my thing. Any soldier, they're not going to go to war, okay? They don't go to war to die for a piece of land. That's not what they do. They go to war to die for the people in the country. They go to war. No one's going to think about this. No one goes and dies for the land of Germany. They go and they die for Germans. No one in America goes and dies for the land of America. They go and die for Americans, right? AKA the culture. So people are willing, so they might be scared, right? They might be scared, but they're going to do anything anyways. Meaning they're going to keep going is what they're going to do for the people. So culture is sustaining. Culture is sustaining. Do you have a culture that people would die for? That's a great question. Do you have a culture that people would die for? That's what you got to ask yourself, right? Would you give your whole life, right? I'm just saying it like this. Would you donate your life for this culture? With ATMs, for example, we really, like, when I say donate, I mean go all in. Like, make it your life. Will you donate your life to get and donate yourself to the culture, right? It's not about what, I want you to write this down, okay? It's not about what the leaders and the culture can do for you. It's not about what the leaders and the culture can do for you. It's about what you can do for your culture. It's about what you can do for your culture. The culture, okay, the culture is going to be what you create it to be. It's going to be what if you involve yourself in it. A lot of us have so much expectations, right? I'll say it again. So nobody, what I forgot what I said now. What was it? Oh.
It's not about what the leaders
It's not about what the leaders, it's not about what the leaders and the culture can do for you. It's not about what the leaders and culture can do for you. It's about what you can do for the culture. Okay? Because think about this. Think about this. If you, for example, let's just say you get, has anybody on here ever been drunk before, right? Drop a 3 if you got a little faded before. I don't know if y'all call it that, but I'm so serious right now too. I want you to understand what I'm about to say.
Germany.
Y'all probably got some good beer out there and shit. My bad. Anyways, so get this. Have you ever been the sober, now drop a 4 if you've ever been the sober person when everyone was drunk. Right? That shit's annoying, huh? Right? It's annoying, huh? But get this. If you go drink with them, it's no longer annoying. What's the difference? You were involved. Right? So, are you doing the same thing with the culture? Are you doing the same thing in I Am Master Academy? Are you expecting so much from the company? Are you expecting so much from Marvin and your leaders? Are you expecting so much from the culture, but you're not getting involved in it? You're not even putting your hands in it? Are you expecting that much? Think about that. So ask what you can do for the culture, and it'll be a lot different once you get your hands on there, right? Now, you've got to get DMO, all right? Daily method of operations, right? DMO. And this is going to be really simplistic for you. This is going to be very simplistic for you here. All you got to do is get into phase 1. Right? Why? Because you are self-employed. You are self-employed right now. If your organization is not at least 10,000 people, you're self-employed. Okay? You're self-employed. You're self-employed, meaning you've got to be the one in phase 1. Not phase 2, okay? Phase 1, because you're self-employed. So what am I saying? When you wake up in the morning, get your ass to work. Now the next thing I said was this. You've got to build, right? You've got to build set your dreams in stone and then work your life around your dreams. Well, here's my thing. You are never going to get to your dream if you are not at phase 1. You will never get there. So what does that mean? You've got to wake up and go right into phase 1. That should be the first thing you do in the morning is get into phase 1. Because, right, how you start your day is how you'll finish. How you start your day is how you finish. And if you start your day in phase 1, you'll probably end it, right, with a lot of signups. With a lot. So, daily method of operations. When you wake up in the morning, you should have a list on a whiteboard. If you don't have a whiteboard, I ain't gonna lie to you, man, you better have a whiteboard. That's just all I can say right now. Okay? If you guys, look, I don't think y'all understand. Like, this shit is serious here. Look, do you see the ring lights everywhere? Okay, this is investing in your business. All right? You've got to invest in your business. Look, whiteboard there, right? There's any other whiteboards? More in the other room, okay? Are you investing in your business? You know what's crazy is I was like in Walmart the other day. I don't know if y'all have a Walmart or know what that is. I'm assuming you know what it is though. Everyone probably kind of knows what Walmart is. But I was in Walmart the other day, and I'm like, man, it's crazy because like I'm like low-key a millionaire, right? And I'm like, how am I one of the only people in Walmart that has that's here to get a fucking whiteboard, and all these other fake entrepreneurs aren't getting one? I'm like, I don't get it. I'm like, I mean this in a very humble way. I'm like you would think that if I'm quote unquote rich, that I would be the one not getting the whiteboard. But I'm the one getting the whiteboard, yet I got a lot of people telling me that they want this so bad, but they haven't got a whiteboard. I'm like, yo, it's 20 bucks. Invest in your business. So you've got to put your DMOs on the whiteboard and then look at it every day, what your DMO is. The first thing needs to be phase 1, right? The first one needs to be phase 1. After phase 1, right, then you can go to the gym or whatever it is, okay? If you want to listen to PD after phase 1, I don't recommend it. I recommend keeping that mental momentum. But if you want to listen to personal development, go to the gym, right? Meditate, right? Meditate, yeah, boom, right? PD. If you want whatever, I don't give a fuck what you, go to work. If you got to go to work after, guess what I'm saying? I'm saying wake up and go into phase 1. Like exactly what it sounds like. Is there any P5s on the call? P5s and above. P5s and above, are you guys on the call? Drop a 1 if P5 and above on the call. Drop a 1 if there's any P5s and above. Anyone on? Yeah, we got some. Perfect. Bet.
Sweet people.
That's bet. So this is what's crazy. All P5s and above are saying this shit. Yes. That's what they're saying. I'm sorry, I swear to y'all, but they're like, fucking thank God that someone is like saying this shit, because they're like, this is everyone's problem. Phase fucking 1. You've got to get into phase 1. I know you don't listen to me. I know you don't want to. I know. Okay? And I have a very, very simple way to get over it. Right? You just go do the shit. You just go. Okay? You just got to go do it. It's not gonna get done by you doing nothing. So you might as well go do it. When we get off this call, I want you to go hit up at least 10 people and drop it in your chat room once you do it. Okay? And then tomorrow, right? Drop it in your chat room once you do it again. And then the next day, drop it in the chat room once you do it again. I want you all to go get whiteboards. Okay? And tag each other, new whiteboard, go to wherever your whiteboards are, go buy them and get a culture of phase 1 and whiteboards. And put phase 1 as a priority of your dream, because phase 1 is the only thing that's going to get you to your dream. The only thing right now, if you do not have a big organization, phase 1 is the only thing. Do not sit here and tell me you're struggling if you have not been inside phase 1. It is never going to get done. I can't stress this enough, and I know I'm being repetitive, but here's my thing. You've got to hear it, because we've got to change your life, and key word, you've got to change your life. We can only help you, but a lot of you are looking for anything that can help you win except phase 1. A lot of you are looking for everything. You want to know how to grow the team. You want to know psychology. You want to know the trading. You want to know all this. But you just really don't want to do the phase 1 part though. It's everything but the most important part that you want to do. Okay? So what you've got to do is just do it. Just do it. And then I'm going to wrap this call up. Okay? I'm going to wrap this call up. But look, very good culture right now. I mean, this is clear to me. The way you're in the chat box and all this, you've got a very good culture. So what that means is that you can very simplistically blow this shit up and create a lot of chairmen before the year's even over. If you feel like it. If you actually want to. If you go into phase 1. If you go through and think and launch this like a business. If you go all in. You've got to make this your life because this is your dream. Don't you dare put your life, right, your dream on the back end. You better put it on the front side of things. So when you wake up, right, go phase 1 like your dreams depend on it because it fucking does, right? Your dreams are depending on phase 1 right now. Write that down, right? Your dreams are depending on phase 1 right now. That's the truth. So what we've got to do is get into phase 1. Let's get this culture booming even more, all right? I'm not going to lie, Germany's lit, all right? So when we go to, whenever we can put all of us in a convention, right, I want to see all of y'all going insane, and it's got to be a lot of you, okay? And I know there's more than just Germany on the call, so I'm just going to say everyone out there right now, let's blow this shit up. Okay, let's get Marvin a chairman, 750. Fuck that, chairman, 1 million. All right, let's get all the P5Ks to the next level. Create a culture of it is your job. You've got to say it's my job to get my leaders to that next level. That is your job. That's the culture, right? Let's get all of you to the next level. So with all that part being said, I'm going to pass it back to Marvin. I love you guys. I appreciate your time. I'll see you at the top. Because the bottom is way too crowded. Let's get it.
Let's go! Thank you for your time. Leute, ich weiß nicht, wie viele mitgeschrieben hat, aber thank you for your time. Thank you so much.
Of course.